So, looking at the radar maps this morning, calling Winter Storm Fern a major weather event feels like a massive understatement.
Oh, it really is.
It's Saturday, January 24th, 2026, and we are watching a system that just stretches from New Mexico all the way up to Maine. It's engulfing the country.
It's a true coast-to-coast disruption. And, the goal for this deep dive isn't just to read you the weather alerts. You have apps for that.
Right.
We really need to look at the mechanics of this monster. Why is this specific storm triggering a national emergency?
And taking everything out at once.
Exactly. The power grid, aviation, the interstates, all at the same time.
It's so rare to see officials in, 17 states declaring emergencies all at once. That just signals something is structurally different here.
It is. Meteorologists are calling this a triple threat. And while we're all familiar with Arctic air and Gulf moisture colliding...
That's classic winter weather, yeah.
It's that third ingredient, the temperature inversion, that's causing the real chaos.
That's the key variable.
It is. You have that deep Arctic freeze right at the surface, and all that moisture pumping in from the Gulf, but sandwiched in between is this layer of warm air sitting just a few thousand feet up.
So it's like an ice factory in the sky.
It's a perfect ice factory. So instead of snow falling all the way to the ground, it melts into rain in that warm layer.
Okay.
And then it becomes super cooled the second it hits that freezing air near the ground. It's not a winter wonderland. It's a flash freeze mechanism.
And that physics creates a completely different problem for infrastructure than just snow, right? It's not about volume, it's about weight.
It is all about the weight. We are seeing catastrophic ice accumulation in the Deep South. I mean, up to an inch in some places. A half inch of ice can add 500 pounds to a single span of power line.
500 pounds. That's structural failure territory.
It is. Which
would explain why over 100,000 residents have already lost power, with Texas taking the brunt of it.
And that ice doesn't care if it's hitting a power line or, a 737 wing.
Right.
The aviation numbers are ugly. Over 10,000 cancellations for the weekend. But it's the location of the cancellations that really matters.
It's hitting the hubs. Dallas, Fort Worth, Nashville, Charlotte.
The critical hubs, yeah.
Because the whole airline industry operates on that hub and spoke model. So if you freeze up DFW and Charlotte at the same time, you're not just canceling flights in the South.
No, you're collapsing the entire national network. You just can't route planes through a solid block of ice.
And I guess for anyone thinking they'll just drive, the interstates are probably worse.
Arguably worse, yeah. I-20, I-35, I-95. They're turning into skating rinks. But here's the real salt in the wound for this storm.
There's more.
There is. There's a lobe of the polar vortex trailing right behind all the precipitation.
Oh, that's the kicker. So there's no thaw coming.
No quick thaw, no. This system is dragging wind chills down to -40, maybe -50 in the northern plains. That ice is going to be locked in place for days.
Which prevents any kind of recovery. I mean, you can't de-ice a plane or a highway when the air itself is that cold. The road salt stops working, doesn't it?
The chemistry literally stops. It's fascinating, but also terrifying.
And regionally, it's playing out with such weird contrasts. You've got Oklahoma City getting its biggest snowstorm in a decade, while Atlanta is facing an ice event that could shut down the world's busiest airport for 48 hours.
And that whole mass of energy is now trekking east, right for the I-95 corridor. Forecasts have D.C. and Baltimore looking at up to a foot of snow, maybe 16 inches for New York and Boston by Sunday.
So the National Guard activating in 9 states isn't an overreaction.
Not at all. It's a necessity. It tells you they expect the grid to stay down for a while.
It really brings us back to this idea of resilience, doesn't it? We've built our infrastructure to handle heavy weather like a lot of snow.
Right. Load-bearing limits, drainage, things like that. But we aren't built for complex weather. We're not built for events where the state of matter changes from rain to ice in the last 100 feet of descent.
And that's the big takeaway here, isn't it? The question we should all be thinking about. As we watch these inversions maybe become more common, how do we retrofit a continent-sized infrastructure to handle the physics of a sudden flash freeze and not just brute force snow?
It's a massive engineering challenge.
It really is. Stay safe out there, and thanks for listening to this deep dive.